I wasn't really supposed to be born.
Neither was Bill.
I mean, it's not like I was supposed to die or something like that. I just happened.
They tried to get rid of Bill, it just didn't work. The arsenic didn't work, and he lived.
No, Dan, listen. This is how Romanians are born. They pop out of the ground like potatoes.
No, that's how Irish are born.
That's true. Aren't there potatoes?
There's potatoes everywhere, Bill, not just in Ireland. I mean, it's true. Irish people depend on it more than other people, which is why when we lost our potatoes, everyone f***ing died.
My potatoes.
Yeah, I saw some start saying, "Why didn't they just go fish, motherfucker? They couldn't go fish. The fucking English."
How are you gonna eat enough fish for an entire nation? Like, how are you supposed to feed an entire nation on fish alone?
How are you supposed to get fish when the fucking British Navy was stopping them from fucking getting the fish?
Yeah, the only other solution was for them to move to America, which is what they ended up doing. Which is why in Boston and a lot of other areas in Massachusetts, you have a lot of Irish people. They all moved here because they're like, hey, screw it, screw the Brits. We're gonna go to one other place we know the British hate. We're gonna go to America.
Mm-hmm. Oh shit! This guy have potatoes. Let's go for the potatoes.
Let's his potatoes.
Want to know the funny thing?
Potatoes.
Like, the potatoes came from the. If I remember right, the potatoes came from the fucking U.S. If that's
Everything bad is from the U.S.
I simultaneously love and hate English because some bullshit doesn't make any sense.
That's the same in any language. There's bullshit that doesn't make sense.
I guess, but there's more in the English.
Well, yeah, because we don't have a single language. We're simply a compilation of every known language known to man, just all bastardized and thrown into one.
All the languages hate fucks to get English.
English is basically the Jon Snow of languages. It is a bastard that everyone hates for no other reason, and it is a bastardization of everyone else.
I'm fucking waiting for you to finish whatever the fuck you were doing.
I don't know what we're waiting for. I was waiting for Bill to actually do something, but,
we were just talking about how bullshit the English language is for like 10 minutes.
Well, technically, we were talking about Ireland for 10 minutes.
I thought you were doing the audio shit, Dan. Did you finish?
I did that in the first 2 minutes. I'm not doing anything anymore.
Bruh,
we haven't been waiting for anything. We're just sitting here talking about bullshit.
Do we have a fucking order yet? Are we actually, no. You know what? Fuck it.
You know what I should do? I should keep some of this and put it in like I should release like a full episode version and put this at the end where people can see how much time we actually waste sitting here doing nothing other than talking about random bullshit that enters our head, whether it's history, culture, philosophy, whatever.
We're going on a tangent about a tangent about a tangent about a tangent.
Exactly. Okay, this is the metaverse of tangents. By the way, fun fact: did you know parallel universes exist?
Yeah, I know.
Because you know how I know that? Because IGN tells me it's true.
Pull up all the articles.
I am pulling them up one by one, but because my default browser is set to Firefox, I have to manually open them in Chrome by copying the link.
Why the fuck do you have Firefox as default?
Yeah, I've had it set up that way forever, and I'm lazy, and I don't want to change it.
Ew.
Lazy bitch.
Also, Firefox has got good anti-security, like antivirus security.
Anti-security, just leaks all your information to the
No,
internet.
anti-security. You want to know what's anti-security? Kaspersky.
Oh, remember that one time Josh and had that fucking virus from Kaspersky?
Yes, I do.
He had fucking Russian ladies dancing on a screen.
I swear it's a virus, Dad. I swear it's a virus.
And he was trying to convince us that he wasn't doing it on purpose, that he wasn't pulling up like Russian Pornhub on purpose.
Bruh. At least open it in fucking incognito is the least you can do.
I know, but hey,
put it up.
if you find Russian ladies sexy, and I can't say I blame you, that you do you, but maybe not download viruses to watch them. Here's what we're going to do. Both of you are going to message me what topic you want to start with, and I'll message both of you. And once we have a consensus, we'll just pick that one to start with, and we'll just go in a random order from there.
Okay.
Okay, I'll send you my pick.
Fuck! Damn.
Okay, looks like we have a consensus on Rewind.
Oh, damn it.
This is how we pick things. I set up a perfectly democratic process, and we go from there.
Okay.
And then I establish a dictatorial setup from there.
Oh, just like Chief Palpatine.
Exactly. We start with democracy, and then we go to monarchy. That's kind of how I embrace my political governance of a podcast. Okay, so let's jump right into it. I've got the story lined up here. So apparently, I'm not sure if you guys had known this, but apparently back in 2010, YouTube launched a program called YouTube Rewind, a very popular and very successful roundup video series where they focus on a lot of the themes and interesting moments throughout YouTube history of that year. It's been an enormous success over the years, with lots of creators collaborating together to create this really once-in-a-lifetime experience every single year.
Once in a lifetime, every year.
Yes.
Exactly. And apparently YouTube has been
so
very
proud of
happy
this community.
with that, because a spokesperson for the platform said that, unfortunately, they're canceling it despite its wonderful successes.
Oh, I wonder what we're on.
That's a bro moment. If I've ever seen
Instead,
one.
YouTube will leave the year-end video rewind videos for YouTube creators to make on their own. So they're basically opting out altogether at this point. They don't want anything to do with YouTube Rewind, and honestly, can you honestly blame them?
No.
I can't
'Cause-
fucking blame them. Ever since I don't remember exactly all the rewinds because I think
It doesn't really matter because they're all unmemorable, but the one that comes to me when I think of YouTube Rewind, I think of 2 years. I remember that one year where the YouTube adpocalypse had just happened after the quote-unquote something forest video had gone live and had been not that well received, you could say. And then YouTube decided, you know what, we're going to demonetize everyone on the platform and totally just gut our YouTube monetization program.
yeah.
And then
fuck
they
everyone over.
decided, you know what? You know the best way to celebrate our YouTube creators and acknowledge our failings? We're going to put out a YouTube Rewind saying, everything is awesome. I mean, they didn't literally
Yeah,
use the Lego song,
basically-
but they basically said it.
Yeah, basically they fucked everything up after they basically booted out PewDiePie.
And then they wanted a pat on the back.
Yeah, and ever since the fucking 2017 when they fucked it up.
Yeah, and it was
I
just
don't-
really
in
funny to see that one
2018
video. Because I don't know if it was 2017 or 2018 when the adpocalypse happened. I want to say it was
Yeah, I don't remember.
2017. I could be wrong, though. Maybe it was 2018. But either way, when it happened, I just remember everyone downvoting that video to shit. And it was really funny
Yeah, the
to see.
2018 one. The 2018.
Yeah, it was
one,
the 2018 one,
Everyone
okay.
controls rewind. I remember it vividly because the one thing I'm so proud of this community with Gabby Hanna.
Oh, God.
The one person who should
K-pop.
speak on behalf of all of YouTube. Yeah, definitely. Was that the
Yeah,
same one where they
fucking
did
hell.
those cringe-worthy Fortnite and FNAF
Yeah,
homages?
I don't think Fortnite and
No.
FNAF, but it would definitely. They definitely.
I'm pretty
Fortnite
sure
was-
they were on the battle
at the
bus
start
at
of
one
the
point.
rewind. Yeah. At the start of the rewind, they're on the fucking battle bus. And
Yeah, so it was a
Yeah,
Fortnite
that,
moment,
that
yeah.
was Ninja. That's
yeah,
Ninja.
it was a Fortnite. That's what I said. You said FNAF or some shit.
Is this what you
Well,
wanted?
FNAF did make an
said-
appearance in that as well, I think. I think it
No,
was...
no, not in the.
wasn't that the
2018
where
one.
Jacksepticeye or Markiplier showed up and they were walking down this creepy hallway and stuff? And
No,
they made
that was.
No, I don't
oh,
think it
God.
was 2018. But yeah,
That might have been
basically,
2017.
Yeah, the 2018 one is possibly the most disliked fucking.
It was the most
Video.
disliked video of all time on YouTube, which is really saying something because
It still
YouTube has
is.
had
It
quite a
still is.
few... It still is?
Yeah.
Holy hell. I know people
Let me
hated it, but
check.
I didn't realize it was that bad.
Let me. Yeah, no, 19
I know
million
it like
dislikes.
outdone like
Wow.
fucking Justin
That,
Bieber's
that's
baby.
wanna know the funny thing? The second most fucking like disliked ever video is the Baby Shark one. Imagine.
A
getting-
well-deserved candidate, I might add.
and by a long shot. Like the YouTube Rewind one has 19.6 million dislikes.
You know what I
Baby
love about the
Shark one
YouTube
has
Rewind
14.3.
situation is after they put out that terrible video, and then everyone rightfully shit on them for it, their decision next year was, you know what, we're not even going to try to do a proper production level rewind, we're just going to put together a highlight reel.
It's
Yeah,
Watch
yeah,
Mojo.
yeah.
It was a Watch Mojo.
The For the
It was a
Record
Watch
one,
Mojo
yeah.
top
It was a
10.
Watch Mojo video, exactly. And honestly, I'd say Watch
Mojo
Mojo...
made a better one.
Yeah, well, Watch Mojo itself is kind of cringe-worthy, I find, but when you have a YouTube Rewind that's even more cringe-worthy than Watch Mojo, you know you've really done it wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see. Did 2020 have a fucking?
I
Nope.
think
Oh,
they
no,
were going.
not even
I think they were
2020
going to.
had
I don't know if they did.
No, they canceled
No,
that.
not even 2020 had one. You know it's fucking bad when people when ordinary people, like I saw the fucking.
Yeah, I've seen YouTube creators make better
I
rewinds
think
on their
the
own.
Legends edition, yeah, the Legends edition is my favorite.
I think
Yeah,
I've seen that one.
after the backlash of YouTube Rewind, PewDiePie released his own Rewind and actually done a lot better.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember
it
people
did.
talking about that and saying this one's actually not that bad.
Yeah, because
You know, the PewDiePie one.
one another funny thing, like the YouTube Rewind 2018 has 2 million likes. The PewDiePie one has 9.5 million likes on it.
That does not surprise me at all.
the guy they tried to fucking bury. 'cause
Like
of
it or
a
not,
fucking
PewDiePie
Nazi
is
joke.
basically the godfather of YouTube.
He
He
is.
is. Even though
You can't
he's
escape it
single-
as much as people would like to. And I
Yeah.
know technically he's not the biggest in terms of subscriber numbers anymore, I think, but still,
he's
he is.
still up there. He's still up there.
Well, no, he got replaced by during that
T-Series.
competition.
That fucking
Yeah,
Indian channel. That basically
T-Series replaced him
recycled
for a bit. I
content.
don't know if he's caught up yet.
He has 110 million subscribers right now, which is unreal for a single guy.
Either way, if you get over 100 million, that is ridiculous. No matter how, no matter who else has it or if you were the
Yeah.
first, it's still ridiculous any way you slice it. But one thing that is not ridiculous, the idea of 2021 having no rewind.
To be honest, I wasn't
Audacity.
even expecting one. YouTube knows they'll get fucked over if they try again.
But yeah, because I don't see any PR win for
They're
YouTube
so
to
out
do
of
this.
touch.
There's nothing good about making a rewind. There's nothing that they're going to benefit from. And I think they finally gave in and said, you know what, we accept that there's no positive outcome for us, so we're just not going to even commit to
I'll
it.
give them a plus for realizing that they just can't win.
Yeah,
They
I don't know
what
why it
people
took them 3 years of failures to recognize this, but some people are just slow learners. I mean, Bill knows this better than most.
want. Bill's in the special forces.
He should be at Team YouTube handling the Twitter account.
Dude,
With their
Emma,
fucking
dude, they
monkeys.
have like a fucking thing that people like to joke about. It's gonna take them like fucking hours or like even days sometimes, fucking weeks even, which is odd. The fucking audacity to not respond to someone that had trouble with their channel. But the moment you mention,
YouTube, like,
hello, no, I gotta do it for anyways. Hello YouTube, I have a problem with my premium. They immediately just jump in like the fucking white knight there.
you have a better chance.
But then
of
when you have
having-
a problem with your channel, they
You're
don't do
victim-
anything.
You're victim
I've
of
literally
lack of
seen
YouTube-
people Twitter questions like, "Hey YouTube, my channel got unexpectedly deleted, and I've not gotten any reason why.
Yeah.
Can you please help me?" And YouTube would basically respond with, "Please fill out this form about how you would rate your experience with the YouTube support team." And then people are like, "We haven't gotten an experience yet."
We can't have an experience because the fucking channel's gone. As I was mentioning earlier.
Nope,
Oh,
out of time.
fucking-
Moving on.
You bitch. You cunt. You motherfucker.
This is what happens when you go off on a tangent, and then I have to spend minutes,
didn't let
if
me
not
finish
hours,
it,
editing this
bitch.
stupid video because you go off on a tangent that has nothing to do with what's being discussed.
Okay, what's
This is
next?
why podcasts don't get released.
No, it's because Bill doesn't fucking show up on time.
Well, that's because podcasts don't get recorded, but there's a difference.
Okay, so what's next?
Normally, I would say I'll flip a coin, but I don't have a coin, so I'm going to flip a packet of ketchup.
What?
I got
and-
coin.
Yeah, Bill, you get the label side, and you get the, unmarked white side. Ready?
Crack.
White side. Okay, Bill wins. We're going with Evil
Aw.
Thomas.
Evil Thomas.
So I'm not sure if you guys have been keeping track of this. I know basically the entire internet has, but apparently there's a Evil Thomas the Tank horror game that's coming to Steam sometime in the near future, and let's talk about that. Have you ever had the temptation, Bill, to play a game where there's an Evil Thomas the Tank crawling at you with spider legs?
Nope.
Well, now you're going to get that chance, because Choo-Choo Charles is now becoming a thing, and honestly, it's the stuff of nightmares. It reminds me of the Skyrim mods you get for Thomas the Tank, but on a whole new level.
Yeah.
I don't know who decided, hey, we need a Thomas the Tank horror game, but apparently it's here now. Choo-Choo Charles is a carnivorous spider tank. Well, spider train. I said spider tank, but honestly,
Spider Tank.
meet the amazing spider tank. Apparently
I
it's
love the
a...
article that says
Spider
here,
tank.
as in a train that is somehow also a spider. No shit, GameStop. I couldn't have figured it out. It's a fucking spider.
Well, I'm glad they can identify a spider when they've seen one. I mean, that's more than most Americans can do, I suppose, given the average American IQ.
You see in the corner of your room, you see
And
like
for
a little...
Australians, just shit they see every day.
Yeah, Australians see black widows every single day, so honestly, a normal spider is
don't
nothing.
give
No,
Fuck.
they don't just see Black Widows. They see fucking Shelob every day.
Is that like the devil? What's that mean?
If you watch Lord of the Rings, then you'll understand.
Oh, it's that. Okay. I've seen Lord of the Rings like once in my lifetime, and that's it. Because honestly, it was kind of a
Think
film
of the
series.
spider from
Oh,
Harry
we're watching
Potter.
it New Year's, Dan.
Yeah, and it's gonna be even more so in the extended version.
You're
But anyway, speaking of something that's not let's talk about Choo-Choo Charles some more. Apparently, the goal is it's a survival horror game because Lord
Shit.
knows we don't have enough of those on the market, where players can acquire resources to increase their trained speed, armor, and offensive capabilities. Apparently, you're able to actually shoot down Choo-Choo Charles, as in like a Unrail's shooter experience.
Literally.
How's that gonna go? It's like I'm gonna shoot you and you're gonna barely be damaged.
I reckon so. Basically, I imagine how it's going to play out according to the trailer, which I'll try to show on screen now. Basically, you just gun him down as he tries to catch up with you, and your goal is basically to escape. Because I highly doubt you're going to be able to easily kill him. There's a whole upgrade system where you're able to upgrade and customize your train. Sadly, it does not look like it's going to be a multiplayer game. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it will be multiplayer, but it doesn't look like it's going to be, at least at launch. So no co-op for you and me, Bill.
Imagine giving a train a fucking skill tree.
You literally can. Well, I mean, we already do that in Void Train now. That's one game me and Bill have played before, Void Train.
Oh yeah, that shit.
Yeah, so I mean, it's not like it's unprecedented to have a game where you're playing as a train, or you're playing on a train that has a skill tree. It's ridiculous, but you know what? At least they're embracing the ridiculousness of it. If you're going to be stupid, at least commit to being stupid.
Man's making a shit post.
This is the ultimate shitpost, and honestly, when I first saw the trailer, I thought it was fake. I honestly could not believe... I was just thinking to myself, I'm like, there's no way this is real. There's no way this is real. This has to be bullshit.
This game.
And it's actually real, and that's what I can't believe.
That.
And it gets better. It's being published by EA.
Oh, lovely. You want guns? Pay for it.
Fucking EA!
I actually am bullshitting, but that would be funny.
No, that would have been really fucking funny.
Imagine EA comes out of nowhere and like, we're releasing FIFA, we're releasing Madden, and all that, and we're also releasing Choo-Choo Charles, the video game.
I don't think EA is gonna release FIFA anymore.
Yeah, well, that's a separate story, but
got mad at them.
It's Madden at them.
Fuck you for that pun.
You gave me the opportunity. I couldn't resist. Time to take the ketchup packet of decision making.
Let me
What were our options?
Okay, who wants heads? Who wants tails?
head.
I think that's
Okay.
I feel like that's
Cosmo wants to take head, so
No. Like, yeah.
I know. That's why I didn't say anything because I know it was a trick question.
I know too.
Honestly, I wasn't thinking about making it a trick question. It just kind of came out.
Coward, Bill. Like, I'm not a coward. Like,
It just kind of came out with something Bill has never experienced. Bill has trouble getting it all out. You've taken the head, and Bill's taking the bottom.
Bottom, bitch.
Go, ketchup packet. Ah, I dropped it. Heads.
You dropped the ketchup packet. That was ketchup everywhere.
God forbid I be without one packet of ketchup that I didn't need anyway.
Where'd that come from anyway?
Onward to Far Cry 6. I actually really like the story. This was really funny. I caught it back when it was still trending on Twitter before the mainstream news had picked up on it. But apparently, the Far Cry 6 antagonist, Anton Castillo, if I'm pronouncing his name correctly. Castillo, okay. Is sending players emails mocking their lack of playtime.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, the company basically... Ubisoft has been sending off these PR emails as if they're from the main antagonist in the game, mocking players for their lack of time spent in game saving the population.
Oh, you only played 12 hours? Get back here, bitch!
That's basically what it says.
Yeah, I think I saw like
these
3
emails
hours. 3 hours is enough for playtime, I'd say.
These emails have included subjects like, "You disappoint me," never lines such as, "It was amusing watching you fail," "Surely you can do better than this," and "Thank you for giving me free reign of Yara." And also, "I will remove you from history. No one will ever know your name."
Oh, shit.
These emails have been calling out the players hard, and honestly, I can't say I mind at all. I know some people get pissed off by this, but this is so funny. How can you be mad at this?
It's like the fucking Duolingo app.
I don't know what that is, but I'll take your word for it.
I like the one about the fucking, like, removing it from history. I think it's a fucking reference to Damnation Memoria. So that's fucking cool.
I don't know what it's a reference to, but I'll take your word for that.
Basically, Romans removing people they don't like from history entirely, so people never remember them. That's fucking badass.
That is pretty badass, and it's something I would expect an evil dictator to say. I mean, I appreciate the balls that Ubisoft has here to just commit to it. It's definitely a sassy way of marketing. It's something I'd expect of the Wendy's Twitter account, but not necessarily Ubisoft. Or
Also,
Arby's.
interestingly enough, the emails are also related to how much progress you did, because it says here that someone took the regions.
Yeah, it's kind of a backhanded compliment, because on one hand, they're insulting the player on the surface level, but they're also kind of complimenting them by saying, look, this is what you've done.
Fuck you, but
Pretty
good
cool.
job.
Fuck you, but good job. That's basically the essence of these emails, and that's pretty badass. Bill, on a scale of 1 to 10, how offended would you be if you got one of these emails?
I'd be confused.
Honestly, what doesn't confuse you?
I don't know.
You don't know because you're so confused. The question itself confuses you.
Yeah, probably.
The ketchup packet.
The ketchup packet of decision-making confuses you. Honestly, it confuses me because I wasn't expecting to start off the day talking about ketchup packets. But what are you going to do?
Oh, well, shit happens.
And if anyone's listening, and I actually keep this in the video, no, I'm not joking. I actually did throw a ketchup packet to decide what topic we'd pick next.
Take a picture.
The
of
ketchup
it
packet
and
of
put it in
power.
the video.
I will
Dan,
include
you know what?
I will
Fuck it.
include a picture of a Wendy's ketchup packet if I decide to.
Dan, you know what? You know what? Send me a picture of the fucking ketchup packet. I'll draw.
I will.
it and put it in
I'll
the
send it to you.
thumbnail. You're gonna put it in the thumbnails.
No,
Yes,
but
you're gonna
one thing
fucking do
I'll
it.
do is I'll send it to you by mail. So by the time it gets to you, it'll be this 3-week-old ketchup packet from Wendy's.
I shall treasure it with my entire life, good friend. And handle it like it's a fucking biohazard.
Well, by the time it gets to you, it may very well be a biohazard.
It's a biological
wearing a
bomb by the
hazmat
time it gets to
suit.
me.
It defies the Geneva Convention.
It's
Like,
going
oh shit, you're
through
getting fucking-
TNT.
Okay, I'm not talking about
Wait.
ketchup for the next 10 minutes. Let's move on.
You're
Vote.
obsessed- You're obsessed with fucking ketchup.
Yeah, he really is.
I just thought it was funny. Fuck you, Bill. Gandalf?
What, you don't want to see
What?
Gandalf fighting Wonder Woman?
The fuck is he gonna do? Go fucking infinite shield?
No, he's going to tell Wonder Woman she cannot pass.
Yeah,
And when she lassos him, he'll simply repeat it because he believes it to be true.
makes sense.
You know what's going to be an interesting fight? Is having having Jerry from Tom and Jerry try to beat up Superman. Honestly, Superman would just find that kind of cool. He'd probably just pet Tom while Tom tries to rip his face off.
Which Tom?
Tom and Jerry, the cartoons.
To be honest, I don't think fucking Tom would have the guts to attack Superman unless fucking Jerry provokes him.
What the
Well, to be
fuck?
honest, if it was the Zack Snyder Superman, I'd somewhat understand.
Give
No
Tom
offense to Henry
Night
Cavill,
claws.
but if I saw Superman bursting down my door, I'd definitely scratch him up too.
What the hell are we talking about?
We're talking about scratching Henry Cavill's face.
I have no idea.
Warner Bros. Multiverse. Okay, that's actually kind of a clever pun.
You think when they add Harley Quinn, it's going to be the Harley Quinn from the movies or the Harley Quinn from that DC TV show that they're putting on, the R-rated Harley Quinn TV show?
Not really sure, I guess, because like.
Because imagine this is an E-rated game, but you have Harley Quinn talking about how
Yeah,
she's
yeah,
going to
that's
throw tampons at her enemies or something.
That's what I'm wondering. That's the interesting bit, because like you have fucking characters from, like
That are
opposite
completely
ends of-
inappropriate characters, and they're going to
Yeah.
put this in this PG-ish rated, EE10 rated game.
You have fucking Tom and Jerry on one side,
And you have
then you have
Harley
fucking
Quinn.
Harley Quinn. Yeah.
And Superman and Wonder Woman and Gandalf and all that. I mean, most of these characters are, I would say, reasonably age-appropriate, but Harley Quinn? No way in
Fuck
hell
no.
is she age-appropriate. Not even the Arkham Asylum Harley Quinn, or even the cartoons from the 90s. Remember all those cartoons from the 90s where she'd be in provocative poses trying to get Joker to, sleep with her? There's one cartoon I remember where not only was she in lingerie or something, but she got creamed pie by literally a cream pie.
Isn't that the one with the weird-looking fucking Joker?
They're all weird Jokers, but yeah, I think
Yeah, I know,
that
the
is-
weird-
Mark Hamill
looking
Joker,
Joker.
you mean?
Yeah, remember the Bill, after they finished the Batman animated series, they put on the new Batman, the new Adventures of Batman and Robin, and
Yeah.
Joker was all weird.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what he's talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know how they're going to do Harley Quinn, but maybe they're definitely going to tone her down like Disney is going to do with
Absolutely.
Deadpool.
Probably like fucking. Oh no, not fucking Birds of Prey, Harley Quinn. No.
Well, to be fair, that was an R-rated movie too, so they can't do that version. And
Yeah, but
apparently,
I
Steven
think they
Universe
can.
is going to be in there. Steven Universe is going to be in there.
Yeah, why?
I hate
because-
that show.
He's part of Warner Bros. Universe, I guess.
Yeah.
And Adventure Time is also going to appear in there.
Adventure Time at least was good for the first half of it. Then
I've
they
never
tried
seen
to do-
Adventure Time. I know a lot of people in my age bracket have talked about it, but I'm not really into that style of animation. It looks bad. I'm not a big fan of the California style of animation.
Yeah, me neither. I like it because it's weird.
I've heard the
Too fucking
storytelling
heavy.
itself is pretty good, and the music's pretty good when they have songs and all that. But it's never appealed to me. But you know what? If it appeals to someone, you do you. As long as you're not a furry, I say more power to you.
It's got the problem of running on for too fucking long.
I'm not a fan of advocating violence against people, but furries, I'm willing to make an exception.
Hey, they want to be animals. They should be willing to be hunted.
Exactly. I think that's more than fair. And
I'm
by the way,
bringing
we're all
the
kidding here.
mallet.
We're all kidding somewhat.
Okay.
Or are we?
Or are we? That is a question. Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's much else to say other than it's going to be interesting, and we're just going to have to see where they go. I definitely want to see a trailer for the game come out before I make up my mind. I hope it's not as bad as the Nickelodeon game that came out recently, because that was a disaster.
I don't think it was too bad, but it was definitely fucking undercooked.
Well, it was undercooked, and on PC, it was bad.
Yeah.
I tried giving it a go, and I gave it back within 2 hours.
Half of it was cooked, half of it wasn't.
Well, that's how we define something as undercooked.
Yes. Best
Okay, ketchup packet
videos
time.
ever. The ketchup
Packet of fate. Yep,
Yeah.
that's what we're calling it. Ketchup packet of fate. Or decision making, I don't know. Whatever way.
You're
Heads or tails?
Two-Face! You're the new Two-Face, but instead of a coin, you have a fucking ketchup packet.
I'm the millennial version of Two-Face. Okay, so who wants heads or who wants tails?
Tails again, why not?
Okay, you can be the bottom bitch and Bill will be the top. Oh, we got heads. It just kind of flops around. A feeling I'm sure Bill's used to.
Just throw it in the air and see where it lands on.
See where it lands. It bounced off my bed and hit the floor. Just like Bill.
Edge.
So next we have probably the most anticipated topic of the year. Well, maybe not of the year, but it's definitely been one of the most highly followed topics of the year. The new Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach game has released a new gameplay trailer today. Apparently it's came out like 5 or 6 hours ago. The story is still fairly new. There's been a lot of, I wouldn't say a lot of, but there's been some backlash about Five Nights at Freddy's in recent months because, God forbid, the creator came out and he was basically doxxed by a bunch of not very well-intentioned people, and it was revealed he was, he had some conservative political leanings, and everyone kind of jumped all over him for that. And that's kind of affected the PR campaign for this new Security Breach game, which is not being developed by Scott, but being released by a different team that Scott has been working with. And we've been following the story a little bit over the past few months, but there hasn't really been all that much to say up till recently, because we haven't seen any actual gameplay. Well, now as of today, we actually do have some gameplay to talk about, so let's do that. What did you guys think of the gameplay after watching the trailer?
There's more motion with the characters and not so robotic, and it's more open world.
It looks weird.
It has a different tone from the other games.
Yeah, it definitely feels like they're going more cartoonish. I'm getting almost a Fortnite-esque vibe from the cutscene animation. Well, because everything feels like it's going after the same Fortnite audience, where they're going for the... Actually, no, Fortnite's probably not the best comparison. I'm getting Hello Neighbor vibes.
Yeah, that's
Fortnite meets Hello Neighbor is kind of what I'm getting from this. They're going way more cartoony, way more... They're losing the horror aspect of it. When I watched this trailer, nothing about it seems scary to me, per se. I mean, the closest thing I could think of is when the character starts walking around and he tosses around some stuff to get one of the animatronics to leave the bathroom. There's some stealth aspects that can be scary, I suppose, but it doesn't really seem all that scary. Or am I seeing it differently than you guys?
It doesn't really look scary to me.
I don't know. I do appreciate the actual movement, because, the fucking FNAF games got saved for me right after the fucking third one. I liked Sister Location more because, you were technically moving around. It wasn't true movement, but still, you weren't staying in the same fucking spot. I appreciate that in this one, you're actually gonna move around and shit. I'm not really a fan of, I wouldn't really say it's Fortnite, nor Hello Neighbor-ish, but I think it's too over the top. The initial designs, they were still pretty exaggerated, but it still looked like fucking...
Yeah, but it wasn't this exaggerated. They went for a more... Originally, for the first 3 games, they went for... And to an extent, the later games, too, from Scott.
Yeah.
They went for a more dirty, grungy, scary, Outlast-y kind of vibe.
Yeah.
And I'm talking more just how I felt when I played it. Everything is a lot smoother. There's no hard edges. It's all very cartoony. There's nothing about it that feels like it's trying to go horror. Not that
It doesn't
cartoony games
feel
can't be scary,
palpable.
but this doesn't feel scary to me.
It doesn't feel palpable. Fucking
No.
Sister Location felt more palpable. Yeah.
One of the things this game is going to have to prove is, can it still retain that Five Nights at Freddy's essence while not restricting the player's movement? Because one of the things that was very core to the heart of FNAF was how it would restrict the player's movement and what they could and could not see. There would always be something just out of the corner of your eye that you couldn't see, and there's a lot you had to keep track of. So there's always a sense of looming danger. In this game, where you can just escape danger at any point by just running away, they're going to have to really make the AI a lot more confrontational, a lot more aggressive than up till now they've been.
As I said, I'm a fan that you can move around. It actually feels like the place works. I have an issue with the designs. They don't feel like they're actual robots anymore.
No, I've said it before, but they look like items that would be sold on the item shop for Fortnite. They have that Fortnite skin vibe to them. The game itself does not look like Fortnite, but the models themselves are giving me a Fortnite vibe.
To me, they're not really giving me one, but I do guess how some might get it. I don't know. They just feel, even fucking plastic figures. Like, I guess that's where they're trying to kind of imitate like action figures, because like that would be the hot thing for like an animatronic to evolve into. Because like it's not the fucking 80s or the 90s anymore when that shit was more popular, when Chuck E. Cheese.
What do you think of the gameplay where it showed the player going into Big Daddy, if you will, one of the animatronics, and having that Big Daddy point of view from Bioshock?
I think it was also a thing in Sister Location, so it's probably gonna feel similar.
Yeah, I'll admit, I haven't really played Sister Location. I've seen gameplay of it, but I don't think I've ever really played it myself, so I can't really say. I also didn't play the FNAF World game, but I know a lot of FNAF people did. I'm not a diehard FNAF fan, so I've kind of had a love-hate relationship with the series.
I've dabbled in it, but I haven't played every game. I did play FNAF 4. FNAF 4 is not exactly like a fucking FNAF game. It's an RPG. It's like one of those,
it was a spin-off game. It felt like a fan game, but made by the creator.
It was a spin-off, basically. It was a spin-off. It didn't try to do anything like horror. There was shit in like the newer version that tied into the whole lore of the fucking series. Because like that's one of the appeals of FNAF, the fucking lore and how weird shit gets.
But lately, with Scott rewriting a lot of the lore to be more consistent, even though it completely detracts from everything he's done up until now, I'm curious to see where this game is going to fit in. Is this going to be part of his new lore, this new retcon, similar to what Disney did when they bought out Star Wars? Is this going to be part of the new Scott FNAF lore, or is he going to go back and continue the lore established from the games? Because there does seem to be some kind of difference between the old games and the newer games we've been seeing, and the books and everything from Scott.
Not really sure, because like Scott retired, so he...
Yeah, well, he didn't retire. He retired from actively developing games, but he's still very much the creative head of the franchise, and he did say that he will continue to be the determining factor as far as narrative and lore in this game. He's not actively developing the game, but he is the one kind of deciding the creative decisions for the game.
Yeah. Basically, the developers come to him here, hey, does this fit? Is this good? And he approves it and suggests things, basically.
Well, not only that, but I think he's the one that wrote the story for this game.
I do appreciate that the man wants to go back on what he did, because like the fucking earlier games, they weren't exactly consistent. Some shit was too what the fuck is with the box? We don't know what the fuck the box is.
Well, yeah, if it gets to the point, if your inconsistent lore gets to the point that you have entire YouTube channels spending, weeks, months, if not years, literally at this point years, trying to determine what you meant by your lore, then I think it's more than okay to provide a little clarification. I mean, I'm all for having a little bit of fun with conspiracy theories, but at some point you gotta straighten things out with fact.
If I remember right, the books are basically an alternate universe. I'm not really sure. I haven't fucking read them yet.
Either way, it'll be interesting to see which this game follows, the previous games or the books. Because we know the film is going to follow the books more so than the games.
That's going to be interesting to see.
Exactly. But for now, we're going to have to wait and see how things play out.
Yeah, but regarding the style of the game, I do think it's going to work with moving around and shit. I just don't like the style of the animatronics.
I think we're all kind of agreed on that.
It's not that they look plastic or anything. It's the problem they don't really look like I could touch them. The fucking old ones, they look dirty as shit and fucking old, but I could still imagine I could fucking put my hand on them and still feel like they're real. These ones, they're too skinny, they do have the micro movements of like being fucking malfunctioning and shit, but I don't know. It doesn't feel right.
Yeah,
I don't
the
know why
animations
exactly.
do look good. I should give credit there. The animations do look pretty good. And I'm interested with the multiple perspectives in the game, how you can jump from the normal perspective to being inside of robot and having that Big Daddy point of view, or focusing on the security cameras. It does seem like they're going to bring back the whole watching the security cameras minigame. Well, not minigame, but component that we've seen in a lot of FNAF games, but it's not going to be the heart and soul of the game. Instead, it's going to give you, the game looks like it's going to give you a lot more flexibility in terms of how you want to play, and I quite like that. Because if there's
Also
one
look
thing the
pretty
FNAF
good.
games have not been known for up till now, it's offering you that freedom to decide how you want to play. So apparently Sony has been quite busy lately. Apparently Sony is restructuring their Sony mobile division to instead focus on making PC games. Now, we had learned a while back that Sony was going to start putting out PC ports of their existing games. We've seen Horizon Zero Dawn released on PC, and now we have God of War coming out. And I think they also did Days Gone. I think that was a PS4 exclusive, though I could be wrong. Yeah, it was? Okay, good. And it seems like this isn't the end of that, far from. It appears that Sony's really going to start to invest in the PC market as a post-release market for them to release older games on. And I kind of like that approach. I don't know about you, and maybe you could take it from there. But what do you think about Sony releasing games first on PS5 now, and then going back a few years later and releasing 4K versions on PC?
I do certainly appreciate it. As you know, I'm not exactly a fan of exclusivity. I do understand that for consoles it's necessary. I absolutely get it. But I'm not really a fan of those games just staying locked forever, even after the generation of the console has ended. So I do appreciate it. Basically, right after PS5 came out and the whole thing stabilized and shit, and they started adding new stuff for it, and there's games coming out, new ports from PS4 to PS5. Because I do think they're not the same thing as the backwards compatible games, because you can still play PS4 games on a PS5, but they don't have the upgrade thing, so that's...
Absolutely, no,
But
I
we're
definitely agree with
upgrading
that. I like that Sony's
upgraded
becoming way more
games.
open to the idea of working with the player base and giving the player base what they want, ranging from providing free upgrades from PS4 to PS5 for certain games, allowing people to experience the same games they've already bought but in upscaled versions. I think that's a
And
great
for free.
pro-consumer move. I like how they're starting to be a little bit more open to participating in cross-platform play in a lot of games. I think that's also a really good move, and I think this is just another good pro-consumer move from a company that traditionally has not been all that pro-consumer.
Yeah, absolutely.
I definitely want to see one game I definitely hope that we see come to PC at some point is I'd love to see the Infamous games come to PC. They're not earning any money from those games right now in terms of new games coming out. There's not going to be an Infamous game, at least for the next few years, since the developer is quite busy with other projects right now.
Also, I think Insomniac's on Microsoft's payroll now. Not really sure. Let me check.
Yeah, that actually opens up a different question. I wonder if they'll release the PS4 Spider-Man game on PC, since that was a pretty well-selling game at the time, but it's not like they're really earning a lot of money from that on PS5. They may make a PS5 port, but honestly, I don't see any problem with them releasing it on PC now, years after the fact. I bought it on PS4 and I had a decent time with it, but honestly, I'd probably have even more of a good time with it if it was on PC, since PC is the platform I play most on.
Also, my bad. I said it in reverse. Sony got Insomniac from Microsoft. So yeah, pretty nice that they're if they also got the rights for the games, they're probably gonna be able to do it. Or if they collaborate with Microsoft, which I don't really see them doing, but you know.
Well, it depends on
probably will have
what
to.
rights are we talking about? Spider-Man, because
like,
that was published by Sony.
Yeah. Who made the
Infamous?
games again?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it wasn't Insomniac. That was a different studio.
Why
That was
did I say
It wasn't Naughty Dog, but it was something.
Oh, Sucker Punch. It was fucking Sucker
It was
Punch.
Sucker Punch. Yeah, Sucker Punch is owned by Sony, so there's really no reason Sony couldn't port those games to PC since they own it, literally.
Yeah, so they should be able to fucking do it.
Yeah, it's not a question of could they, it's a matter of will they, and we're just going to have to wait and see how much Sony decides to prioritize PC. I highly doubt they're going to prioritize PC over or equal to their own hardware, and nor would I expect them to, but it's nice that we're getting any consideration whatsoever, because PC players traditionally have not had access to a lot of the games console players have had access to. Even now with
Yeah.
PC becoming the more dominant way to play games because it's not nearly as expensive to get into PC gaming as it was historically, we still see a lot of games pick console over PC.
Consoles are obviously more convenient, but they're also a bit more, I guess, fucking not exactly modular in terms
Well, that
of,
and consoles have become more expensive, and PC machines have gotten cheaper. I'm not saying they're necessarily equal.
except
Like
the
you're not.
except the GPUs.
Yeah, well, the GPUs
The
right now are
fucking
going through a
GPUs.
period of insanity, and there's really no way to describe that.
It's because of the. I think it's because of the fucking chip shortage or some shit.
Yeah. Also, because people will buy it out the second it becomes available again. There's a certain craze going on with that I'm not even going to begin to understand. We're literally talking about a GPU that performs maybe 10% better than the ones we already have on the market. It's not the end-all,
Yeah,
be-all.
basically. Yeah. I do appreciate that Sony's more open to actually porting their games on PC, especially since they don't really have to. But
there's no
it's
obligation
appreciated
for
they
them to do so, but it's an opportunity for them to make a little bit more money on the side with very little investment cost on their part.
Yeah,
It's just overall, it's a good business move, and I can applaud
They
them
don't
for
have
that.
to do much because like the games still look good. They're still
No, all they have to
well.
do is
just
spend
have
a
to
couple.
port them.
They just have to spend a couple months working on upscaling it a little bit, adding some optimization for PC specifically, and all of a sudden you've got a functional game.
Not even upscaling, just fucking probably making some of the textures of the.
Well, no, they
models
do.
a bit
They
smoother.
do
Not
some
even that.
upscaling. All their ports
Not
so
even
far have
that,
had some
yeah.
upscaling.
So yeah.
Moving on from that, we have one other story to talk about before we wrap up for today. I'm not sure if you've been paying attention to what's been going on with Activision Blizzard, but apparently they've been in a little bit of trouble over the past few months, as I'm sure you can tell. I don't think I need to rehash all the interesting and questionable moments that's been going on.
No one needs to rehash that.
No, that would take
Everyone
way,
knows
way
what's
too
happening.
long, and honestly, I've got a headache already, and this isn't helping.
Basically, Activision did the stinky.
Activision did an uh-oh with certain things that happen in certain rooms that will not be named, although other people have named
certain
them.
suites.
Certain suites, and what happened in there certainly was not sweet by any means. One of the
Not at
consequences for these questionable actions was that BlizzCon Online, the very much anticipated event coming up, it was expected to happen sometime between January and February next year, because Blizzard once again canceled the in-person event this year due to COVID concerns, but we really know what the major concern for them was.
Sure.
And now they've decided to pause the event altogether, and fans are left wondering what the hell. Apparently, they've made the tough decision to step back and pause on planning next year's BlizzCon, because at this time, the company explained in a statement, we feel the energy it would take to put on a show like this is best directed towards supporting our teams and progressing development of our games and experiences. Which I translate to, our games are in really bad shape right now, and we need to focus on fixing them because you're not going to like what we have to show you.
Our games are fucked.
Yeah.
We need more time, but
we need more time so we don't have another Diablo Immortal situation.
And also being sued by an entire fucking state for treating our fucking workers poorly.
Yeah, there's definitely that too, but they don't want to openly say that, so this is what they're going to do instead. This does worry me a little bit.
It's just planning, Dan.
This does worry me about Diablo 4 and Overwatch 2, because Overwatch 2 and Diablo 4 I'm both looking forward to. Diablo 4 a little less so, Overwatch 2 a little bit more so, because I'm more of an Overwatch fan than a Diablo fan. But I've enjoyed both games, and when you have the creative directors of these games both leave and or be fired for a variety of reasons, and everyone involved is jumping ship as fast as they can, that doesn't leave me with a lot of confidence towards the finished game when it does actually release. And Overwatch 2 was supposed to come out this past Christmas, or rather next month, this coming Christmas, and now no one knows when it's coming out. It's literally stuck in limbo.
After Overwatch 2 makes a return.
Overwatch 2 releases right when Overwatch 1 is dead in the water and goes free to play.
Come again in 2026. Overwatch 2 releases now.
Part of me is starting to wonder whether Half-Life 3 will come out before Overwatch 2 does.
I'm actually confident that there's gonna be... No, actually, no, not about coming out. But there's definitely gonna be... Fuck you. There's definitely gonna be some news about a new Half-Life game before Overwatch 2 releases.
Well,
in
the end, it doesn't
$1
really matter because we're getting the true Diablo 4 game later this year. We're getting Diablo Immortal.
Honestly, I can't even give less of a shit about Overwatch 2 or Diablo, so it's all just funny to me.
No, but you have to have heard of the classic "Is this a joke?" moment from that BlizzCon where everyone was laughing at Diablo Immortal.
I got my phone.
Well, you all don't have phones? Boo! Blizzard just does not know how to do PR. I've never seen such a well-respected company, historically I mean, do such an abysmal job with PR. Like, not even Konami has been this bad in recent years. When I have to compare Activision to Konami and I say Activision is worse with PR, then you know that's really saying something.
Where's Metal Gear Rising? Revenge is still Konami. I want more of that game. It's the best fucking.
No, you're gonna get a sequel to what's that spin-off? The zombie game. The zombie game.
Survive.
Yeah, you're gonna get Metal Gear Survive 2 in 2022. The one game we're all anticipating, but we don't know it. But anyway, yeah, I don't think there's anything to say other than good luck, Blizzard. Yeah. You don't have my money and you don't have anyone else's money because you haven't released a game.
I figured out the name for the next Metal Gear Survive name. Metal Gear Survive 2 Fiddlesticks. They played us damn fiddle.
Just like Activision is playing the public on a fiddle with all their... Oh, the reason the CEO is taking a paycheck... Oh, it's because I respect women. No, the problem is... The reason you're taking a paycheck is because you didn't respect women and you caused this own problem. And now you're trying to save your own ass.
Yeah.
If you had respected women, you wouldn't be in this position in the first place.
I'm surprised he isn't one of the people that got caught.
In a way, I am surprised. Maybe he wasn't involved at all, and maybe I'm wrong, but he definitely covered this stuff up. This should never have happened, but...
Absolutely not. Yeah.
I think that's one thing everyone on the whole internet can agree on, is that this should not have happened. Even people that would have defended Blizzard in any other situation were all like, yeah, this was no good.
That's no good.
That's no good, like Sonic the Hedgehog says. They should make that the new internal training video at Blizzard.
They should get you to educate. They should get fucking Sega.
I would actually get more shit done, probably. Also, I would make sure Overwatch 2 and Diablo 4 are decent games that don't suck.